Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the 2011 BC Rich Warbeast Mk3 Red Devil. Soak it in, people. Soak it in. Oh. Red diamond inlays? Dude, does it get any more freaking metal than this? I literally just came upon this by chance. I actually did not do anything. So I think one of my last videos, I did the review of the Solar Flying V. I ended up putting that and my Epiphone Explorer on Marketplace to sell. If you watch that video, the Solar V, it wasn't too crazy about it. So I could have sent it back. I didn't want to go through all that trouble. So I just threw on a Marketplace to see if I could get my money back. And this guy messaged me and said, do I want to trade for this? And I was like, of course I do. Now that guy lived 2 hours away. We both drove an hour and met halfway, did the trade. And this thing is just absolutely freaking amazing. I'll do a close-up in a minute. Now, this guitar holds a lot of meaning for me. Over 20 years ago, I had a BC Rich Warlock, and it was a good one. It was a real one. Had the maple neck, and it was black, blue sunburst, two humbuckers like this, had a real Floyd Rose, devil stock, everything was a real. I paid $350 for that guitar over 20 years ago, used. Those old BC Riches are now worth almost $2,000 now. I pawned it to go see Testament, and I never got the guitar back, so I was pretty mad. But now I finally got another one. I see Warlocks every now and then on Marketplace, and usually they're pieces of crap. People want too much money, you know, this and that. But this guy messaged me, and I couldn't pass it up. Technically, this is not a Warlock, it's a Warbeast, but pretty much the same thing. The shape right here is just a little bit different, but I mean, freaking Blackie Lawless would be proud. Let's do a little close-up of this. All right, here it is. There is pretty much not a nick, not a scratch, nothing. This thing is flawless for over 10 years old. It is not a real Floyd Rose bridge. Oh, and I did already put some humbucker pickup covers. I put these covers on it. Underneath are just your standard generic humbuckers. I put the covers on it to make it look better. But yeah, not a real Floyd Rose, and that actually was a problem, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But look at these red diamond inlays. Oh, I mean, come on. Looks like there's a little dirtiness on the neck. I didn't get that off. I'm going to have to clean the neck again. Look how beautiful that is. Now you're probably wondering what's going on there. That's what I'm going to tell you about the bridge. But I did go and I looked up that serial number, and you guys can check with me. As you can see, this is a crafted in China. I know it's upside down, but it says official BC Rich. But I Googled on how to use a serial number, and the 6 means it's made in China. The 11 means 2011. So I'm guessing that's what's right. This thing's beautiful. Now, we're going to talk about the Floyd Rose, imitation Floyd Rose bridge. So now I do have the whammy bar and the back plate and everything in the screws. I have all of that. The thing is that I already have my Jackson with the Floyd Rose. The whole point of getting a second guitar was to get a fixed bridge so I can down tune for doing shorts. But when that guy sent me a picture of this guitar, I couldn't freaking pass it up. I mean, how could you pass this up? But this Floyd Rose imitation bridge would not reset properly. And what I mean by that is if you're soloing, you're winging on the bridge or whatnot with the whammy bar, you let it go, it wouldn't always reset exactly flat, which means at one time the strings might be a hair sharp or they might be a hair flat. This did not reset exactly every time. Now, it's not a huge issue. I'm really nitpicking. It wasn't really off that bad. But I was like, well, who cares? I don't need to use this for doing lead solos or using that bridge, because that's what I have the Jackson for, right? So I watched some videos on YouTube, And what you go ahead do is you go ahead and you block off the bridge. This is the block of the bridge. And you go ahead and get yourself some wood pieces, which I will show you what I did. And you got to sand them down, basically craft those so they wedge in there nice. And you only need one spring on here. This is for the grounding. You want your whole grounding system to still be intact, so you need at least one spring on here because the bridge isn't going to move. So because that's like that, this bridge is solid, and I still have it locked down here. You can still use your fine tuners, but if you ever want to tune down, all you got to do is unlock those and tune down and lock it back up, and then you're good. You don't have to worry about redoing this, which is a freaking nightmare, as we all know. Okay, here's my little kitchen workstation that I crafted those wooden blocks. What I did is I went to, sorry about the shadow, I went over to Home Depot and I got a couple of small pieces of wood. This one is 1/2 inch by 1.5 inches by 3 feet. This is 1/4 by 1.5 inches. And literally all I cut off, I think, was 1 inch. I cut 1 inch off of this one with my miter saw and cut 3/4 of an inch. And then I just hand sanded them for a while until each one fit perfectly where it needed to be. Okay, we got the back plate on there. And I can also show you the neck plate right there, BC Rich, established 1969. Now I do have the leftover 2 springs that are supposed to go in there. Like I said, I do have the whammy bar, and here are my strap locks that I'm going to put on there. I just haven't done it yet. I wanted to show you these. They come black. Now, one thing I should tell you, since we've locked this bridge down, you don't even need these on here. You can just unscrew these and take them off. I'm going to leave them locked until I tune down, just because you still can use those and these fine tuners to help keep it in tune. And I think it just looks better having them on there than taking them off. So the only time I'm going to loosen them is when I down tune for videos. But yeah, we got this bridge locked down. I got those covers. I mean, this thing is just sick as hell. Now, the song you heard in the beginning was recorded with this guitar going into Reaper using the exact same settings that I use for my Jackson on any of these shorts that I'm doing. I would say all the shorts that I've done, as soon as I got that Jackson, I'm using the same presets on Reaper, using the auto amp. I do change the bass sound every now and then, but as far as the distortion on the Auto 11, I'm using that. I left that the same. Actually, I did turn the gain up just a hair. The pickups on this guitar sound very crunchy and dirty. I don't like it or dislike it. It's fine. It's totally cool. It's fine to have guitars that sound a little bit different. The distortion sounds the same, but the distortion sounds a lot more gritty, which I guess is kind of cool. I mean, look at it. What would you expect? A clean sound, a smooth sound from this, or a gritty sound? My overall take on this, I don't know all the specs on it. I don't know exactly what the body or the neck is made of. I'm pretty sure the neck is made out of maple. The body, this thing has some weight to it, so I don't think the body's made out of anything cheap. The tuners on here work really good. One of them is kind of hard, it sticks a little bit. I tried to loosen the screw, but it's fine. The tuners work great. The Floyd system works really good, other than it doesn't always reset exactly where it's supposed to be. Now, I don't know if that's all of these, or, I mean, this guitar is over 10 years old, so maybe it has dug some grooves in there, and that just happens over time. I mean, it is an imitation Floyd Rose, so, but no complaints. We locked it down. We're just going to use this for rhythm. There is a little bit of neck dive when you stand up with a strap. There's some neck dive to it. It's not too bad. Like I said, the weight is good. The neck on, like all the knobs, everything. I really have no complaints on this guitar at all whatsoever, other than one thing. And somebody addressed, basically reliefed the neck way too much. And basically what they did is they loosened the truss rod way too much. So there was way too much bow in this neck. Now, it wasn't horrible. Now, all I had to do was tighten the truss rod up and bring the neck back down a little bit flat. But because there was a bow in here for so long, and this is what happens, this is why you always want to check your neck. If this neck bows and stays bows for too long, there will be a permanent warp. Now, because I brought this neck down, it actually does this. From here, it's going up here in the middle, and then comes back down like that, kind of around here. almost like a W. Now, that is super, super slight. You can barely even see it. But because of that, you've got quite a bit of buzz in certain places. Again, now that's not the way it came from the manufacturer. That's just because someone adjusted the neck wrong and left it like that for probably 10 years. And I had to fix it, but it lowered the action a lot. Now, that's not a gripe against the guitar because it didn't come that way. It's a gripe about this one in particular. But other than that, like, this thing is just freaking amazing. I can't believe I got this. I'm so happy. And I don't think I need to buy another one because I actually sold the Explorer, got $350 for that. And I was going to buy, because I got this one with the Floyd, I still needed a guitar that I can tune down for my videos. But since we blocked off the bridge, I can use this one, so I can just pocket that $350 back. I actually made $100 on that Epiphone Explorer. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys can find one of these, I believe they do. I have found some online. I think Reverb might still have some of these, anywhere from $270 to $500, wherever, depending on where you go. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Need I say more? I mean, thanks for watching, guys. Stay metal out there. Stay tuned for more videos.